What's up, wizards? It's Dev from Mtg. We like it at Magic, you know by now. And today we are doing a little bit more gameplay with this black-white Command the Dreadhorde deck that I profiled the other day. If you want the original deck tech, link in the description for that, as well as the deck list on TCG Player if you like what you see today. But let me just run through things super quick. Again, if you want an expanded version of this, link in the description. But basically, the combo here is the Wanderer and Command the Dreadhorde. And I had a few people tell me in the comment section, like, this combo doesn't work. You silly. It turns out your comment didn't work. I said it right the first time there. You know, basically, I think what people are getting wrong here is that you can't cast Command the Dreadhorde with the Wanderer in your graveyard, reanimate it, and not take damage. If you do it that way, you will still take damage from Command the Dreadhorde. But if you already have the Wanderer out and you cast Command the Dreadhorde, you will not take any damage from Command. So that's what we're looking to do in this deck, and we got to play a lot of creatures to actually make Command the Dreadhorde worth it. So we've got a bunch of like small dudes down here: Dusk Legion Zealot, Seeker Squire, Midnight Reaper to help us draw into the combo, as well as God Eternal Bantu, which will help us draw into the combo, and it's just a big meaty dude by itself. Aside from that, we got some value things that we want to get the ETB triggers off of twice if we possibly can in this deck through Command the Dreadhorde. Like Basilica Bellhaunt is amazing to get back with Command. Ravenous Chupacabra, pretty good. Plague Crafter, very nice. And Burglar Rat as well. This is good early game value. Puts a body on the battlefield to block, gets card out of their hand, all that stuff. And it's a decent sacrifice thing for stuff like Plague Crafter, for instance, and Bantu as well. So I didn't play Kite Sail in this slot because I wanted to be able to sacrifice it. And Burglar Rat's a little bit better for those purposes. But that's basically the entire deck, aside from a couple of Mortify, just for a little bit of insurance against enchantments especially, but also big creatures and whatnot. We need a little bit more removal. And then 24 lands. This is a pretty budget mana base here. I did put in an Isolated Chapel, because you basically just get an Isolated Chapel for playing Arena. So I went ahead and put one in instead of the 4 Forsaken Sanctuary. But we're not playing Godless Shrine or like more Isolated Chapels or anything, but still, the mana base, even though it's budget, has been relatively serviceable. But if you wanted to improve it, you always could if you could get your hands on some shrines or something. But that is more or less the whole deck. We're going to fool around and have fun in Best-O-1 today. We're going to try to get a few games in. I'll see you there. All right, game numero uno versus Pablo. This looks like a pretty decent hand right here. We can curve as long as we get a land or two. It's going to be tough to cast Bellhaunt, but we'll go for it here and see what happens. Opponent looking it over, making sure everything looks nice. They lead on Simic Guild Gates, so we might be up against a Gates deck here, or maybe just a budget thing. We'll have to see. Come on, Schwamp, get in there. We'll lead on that. Opponent goes, draws they card, and then thinks about, what are my options in this situation? What are we going to do? We're going to do a little Hinterland Harbor here. I'm sorry for that start, opponent. Into Llanowar. Tempo not very good for opponent right here. But maybe they'll pick it up next turn. We'll go with Enforcer here, and then turn it over to them to see what kind of interesting stuff they can throw our way here. We got Untapped Harbor and Guild Gate. They are processing the play here. 3 mana available to them. Did they get the land they needed? Well, yeah, they did. They drop a forest untapped. We'll see what happens here. We are waiting with bated breath. Such anticipation for opponent to decide what the best 4 mana play is here. Opponent taking their sweet, precious time with this game as we go forward. They cast Entrancing Melody. What an interesting play that is. All right, we'll give it a shot. Maybe this is just Simic Thief, the blue-green Nissa deck or something. So I think what we do here is probably just Enforcer again, honestly. But we could always Midnight Reaper or something. I just don't want to like lose my Reaper to my own Enforcer. We could just go ahead and play it and get set up, though. We're definitely not going to get Bellhaunt next turn, so we got to start thinking about what we're going to do on that turn. And it looks like Plague Crafter is, we have to play it eventually, right? So let's go ahead and Enforcer and get set up for Plague Crafter next turn and see how this turn goes down on our opponent's end. All right. Orzhov Enforcer, Llanowar staring us down. Opponent checking out their hand. Plays the Hinterland Harbor. It's untapped this time. Here comes Tatyova. We're doing that. We're doing that in this deck. Okay, so that seems fun. Let's see what happens here. Trying to get in with Enforcer. We're going to let him do that, I would imagine. Well, no. Decide to pull it back. That's not a great idea. So what we're going to do here is probably just trade Enforcer for Enforcer with a Plague Crafter. I would imagine we didn't get a land that we probably needed on this turn, but hey, we're only playing 1 card this turn regardless. So Stare down this Tatiova for a while. I don't know how that's going to end, but it's a fun road. We'll see. Here comes Plaguecrafter. Going to sacrifice Orzhov Enforcer here. Now, our opponent will probably do the exact same thing. I wonder if they'll sack their Llanowar Elves. They might. They're having a tough time with it, it turns out. I'd probably go ahead and sack my Enforcer. But I don't know what they have in their hand. Maybe they don't need the elves anymore for ramp. We'll just see. They're having a really hard time with it. Ba-ba-da-da-da-ba. Maybe I should have sacked my Plaguecrafter. We'll see here. I've got more to burn, I guess, so it's fine. They get their guy. We get our guy. Spirit Twins. And then they draw their card and go. They're going to play an island here. They got all the lands in the world now. Well, they have 5. Plus the Llanowar Elves. Here comes Grove Spiral. Watch out for that, kid. They're going to drop the other land off of it. They do. That's pretty nice. Here comes Wayward Swordtooth. With Ascend. Ba-bam. Draw off Tatiova. Get the life. Here comes Adventurous Impulse. Opponent is going off this turn, as it were. Reveal the Hydroid Krasis. Here comes Adventurous Impulse again. Let's use all our mana here. Good for you, opponent. They are thinking over their AI play here. We've got a whole 1 in Orzhov Enforcer in the graveyard. Simic Guildgate. 2 Orzhov Enforcer, of course. And next turn, I guess they go off and play Hydroid Krasis. Get in with the Sword Tooth. Let's see, they only tried to get in with this turn. I'm a little surprised by that. Maybe they just don't want to lose Tatiova. That makes plenty of sense, right? So we'll trade Spirit Tokens just like we traded Enforcers there a second ago. We finally get a Forsaken Sanctuary. Let's see here. I say that we just Plaguecrafter again. We'll have to sacrifice the first Plaguecrafter, right? It's like I could go ahead and play Dusk Legion this turn and get set up for next turn's Plaguecrafter. But in the meantime, they play Hydroid Krasis, gain a bunch of life. But I'm not actually that worried about how much life they gain. What I want to do here is draw into some actual removal, like Ravenous Chupacabra or something, so that we can deal with this and this and this. There's a lot of stuff we have to be able to at least like block in the next couple of turns. So let's go ahead and get it together here. Let's see. I can go ahead and block next turn with Dusk Legion. I don't care about the point. I want to draw a card. We'll take a Burglar Rat. That's fine. No attacks. Turn it over. Opponent draws. They got 4 in their hand, 3 in their hand after they play the land, but here comes the card from Tatiova, back up to 4. They play another land. Tatiova does her thing. We're drawing a bunch. We're actually getting to see this deck do what it does, and I'm sure this guy is thrilled. Here comes Growth Spiral. Again. There's a land, they draw, they gain. It's like, I really don't care how much life they gain here at all. Here comes Jade Light Ranger. Okay, so they're not going to go with Krasis this turn, it would appear. They're going to wait for the big Krasis. Simic Guildgate revealed. They discarded their Tatiova there. Makes plenty of sense. Opponent on Hydroid Krasis and 2 Simic Guildgates that we know of, and then a 4th card in their hand that we are unaware of. Got a board full of... They do not attack. I'm a little surprised by that, to be honest with you. We get Swamp. So, we're looking at 5 things here. I could probably just go Burglar Rat, Plaguecrafter. And they're just going to discard a land, I guess. But, like, that's probably fine. As long as they have Tatiova out, they're still going to be... They're going to draw as many lands as they need. Like, if I don't get a Simic Guildgate out of their hand this turn, they're just going to draw another land. Like, Burglar Rat isn't super relevant now because it's just going to make them discard lands most of the time. So I think I'm just going to go Burglar Rat. They're going to discard. They're going to sacrifice their elves to a Plaguecrafter here. But then they're going to have to, like, sack their Jade Light next turn. So we'll go Plaguecrafter. Ba-bam. Sacrifice... It really doesn't matter here, I guess. But I guess I'd rather Burglar Rat. Anticipating the Command the Dreadhorde. No attacks. Because, like, now, if we get Command the Dreadhorde, I might just cast it. If I get another land in Command, then it's more or less on. But I think they just have to go with Krasis this turn, right? It's like they're just having all the fun, but in the end, that fun might come back to bite them. We'll see what happens here. It's like they're not going to try to get in on attacks this turn. Aggressive Mammoth. Why are you playing that? I like it. Don't get me wrong, here comes Jade Light. Actually playing this game out. I know it doesn't look super likely that we'll win here, but this deck's pretty grindy and can come back and win from a pretty bad position, so we'll see what happens here. Opponent, thinking it over, they say go. Alright, so it's actually really good to get the Wanderer, and I don't think that I want to cast it yet. I kind of want to wait until they drop Hydroid Krasis, I think. Although, I mean, I do want to get rid of Mammoth, right? It's like if I played Playcrafter this turn, they're not going to sack Mammoth. They'll just sacrifice like Long Rails or something, so I guess let's go ahead and play Wanderer. I'm probably going to lose her here. And shoot down Mammoth, because that's a big boy. Oh, a big old boy right there. And then we'll no attacks. Our opponent will go here. We'll see if they still try to get in. I'm not totally sure that they will here. Opponent draws off Tatyova, draws off Tatyova. Opponent keeping a pretty full grip. Anybody that says Tatyova is like a bad Magic card is wrong. I've gotten a lot of value out of this thing over the last year or so. And here we see it doing all of the work. I mean, hell, we might switch to mill plan at this point, but our opponent's eventually going to drop this Hydroid Krasis, and that's going to hurt a lot. But we may have just put them off of playing it with this Wanderer here. They have to do something about that. And they can't get in on it this turn. If they try to, they're going to lose some guys. So we're not in the best position, but we're in a good enough position to like keep playing Magic here. So we'll block the Jade Light with a Crafter. A trade. That's our opponent's combat step, so we'll see what happens here. Opponent has 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lands. Just wanted to count that up real quick. That's enough mana to do whatever they want. Maybe they'll cast a Finale or something. Like, at this point, I just want to know what they do. Alright, so we got Basilica Bellhaunt online at this point. You know, we could just, like, kill this Wayward Swordtooth with the Wanderer. That'll leave them open to cast Hydroid Krasis. I'm not sure it's the best plan in the world. I think I'm just going to go Crafter, sacrifice Zealot, and then our opponent will sacrifice Lawn War Elves. I'm sort of trying to bait them into playing this Krasis and see if they are, you know, they're silly enough to make that move. But we do have three power creatures here, so it's going to be really difficult for them to get in on our board, and our Wanderer is fairly protected at this point, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll see if we can play out of this situation. If we do, it won't be a miracle or anything. I actually think that even if the opponent gets to like 50 life, we still have some semblance of a chance here. So, especially if we just get like a Ravenous Chupacabra or something, it's more or less game on. So, let's see what happens in our opponent's turn here. They're gaining life and drawing cards. 5 in their hand all total. We know about a Simic Guildgate and a Hydroid Krasis. They got a Wayway Swordtooth and a Tatyova out. Here comes the Krasis. Okay. So they're going to try and draw into another Krasis, I would imagine, here. I bet. They're going to go all the way and draw a giant grip with Hydroid Krasis. They don't care that we have Wanderer out. And I can understand that. We'll see what happens. They are very likely going to do nothing, I would imagine. Maybe they'll... Nah, I doubt it. They are thinking about it, though. They have to discard down to hand size, I imagine, is what's going on now. So that can actually only benefit us in the end. Like, imagine if we draw... oh, well, we didn't. But imagine if we... Ooh, that's actually really good. Imagine... I'll finally finish the sentence. Imagine if we were to draw Command the Dreadhorde, but we did not. So, you know how it is. Alright, so... I say... Go. Probably here. I don't want to let them untap, though, because they probably drew, like, Negate or something. I don't know what they're playing in their deck. So I will go ahead and Mortify this big boy here. And then I will say go. Because there is no reason to do anything else. We're just going to let our opponent untap with, like, 12 cards in their hand. See what happens. Draw off Tatyova. Gain yourself a little bit of life, opponent. There's a forest. Draw off Tatyova. What do you have, like 30 lands out? They're going to have like all of their lands before it's all said and done. But I still have not given up. I really don't think that this game is 100% over yet. If they play another Krasis, they'll just draw a buttload of cards, and they only have 15 cards left in their library. So we'll see what happens here. We might actually be able to outlast our opponent. They explore, draw a couple of lands. There's a Galta. Looking yoked. There's an Adventurous Impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, a million lands still open. They reveal that and play it. Here comes Wayward Sword too. So they're just going to try and just attack through us next turn, it looks like. Tatyova gets to draw the card. There's a Merfolk Branchwalker. Yeah, they're just going to try and go all out here. They reveal a Wayward Swordtooth on top of their library there. How many do you have? 11. Ugh. That's probably too many, but I guess we'll see, won't we? They try to get in on Wanderer. Alright, so I will double block the Swordtooth, block the Tatyova, and they're just trying to get our creatures off the board. I don't blame them for that, but we have to try and draw Command the Dreadhorde. We do draw a bunch off of Midnight Reaper. Boop. 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 Oh, we didn't get it there. Oh my goodness. Oh, we really need it. We really need it so bad. Opponent's still deciding they might want to cast some cards this turn. Really put things out of business for us. Here comes Tatyova. And we get a Ravenous Chupacabra, which is just not good enough. But let's see here. What we do have, we'll play the Chups. We'll choop what it dupes, and we'll kill this Galta. We're going to lose our Wanderer next turn anyway, aren't we? So, yeah, it looks that way. So, we'll go ahead and shoot that down. That Wayward Swordtooth. Play our Seeker's Squire. We're going to explore for a plains here. Oh my god, just get us this command. We need it so bad at this point. I mean, at this point, we're going to need a Wanderer too, so that's not looking great. I really didn't want to have to find both cards, but we're going to have to do that. Opponent down to 9 cards in their library. I don't think it's going to make a difference here, though. They're going to Palaka Worm on the Palaka Laka board. They gain 7 and draw the card. Palaka Worm is really not good news at all. Alright, so bop bop. You gonna attack with more? They really should. Like, you really should. Yeah, here we go. Good lord. Alright, so we are going to lose our Wanderer here. We will, let's see, just make sure I'm doing the right thing. And we'll block Jade Light. We will block Branchwalker with the Chupacabra. Bop, bop. There goes Wanderer as Tatyova gets through. Here comes a Basilica Bellhaunt again. I guess I can finally just start playing these, right? So, play the plains. Basilica Bellhaunt. You're going to have to make a decision here. Does our opponent only have like one Hydroid Krasis in their deck? Is that possible? We'll play the other Basilica Bellhaunt and go up to 25 here. Our opponent has to really think about it now. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so they discard Forest. They draw again. There goes a land. They're drawing from Tatyova. Down to 6 cards in their library. 5 cards in their library as they play another land. Our opponent has to be very close to playing all their lands. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23 lands that they played here. Palaka Worm might start ruining days. There's another Hydroid Krasis. I was wondering, oh my goodness. Oh, we just got the mill win somehow. Wow. Alright, I'm sorry for including that last game, y'all. I had to. I told you this deck can play fair Magic and win sometimes. But anyway, here we are. I really don't know how we won that game, but we're going to keep this opening hand here. Even though it could be, to be honest with you, it could be a little bit better. But we do have Wanderer. We got a couple of 2-mana plays. And we can try and get this 3rd land off Seeker's Squire on turn 2. Or maybe we'll just Burglar Rat them. All depends on what we're playing against. Or if we draw land. We'll have to see. But opponent is making some tough decisions over there. Fraz. Looking frazzled. What you gonna do, Bubba? What you gonna do, Bubba? We still have no idea what's going on at the beginning of this game as the tension begins to mount. As we expect Fraz to make a move any moment now. Time ticks by, sands in the hourglass, as Fraz decides to keep his hand there, and we're going to lead on plains, I suppose, and then Fraz will go. So here comes Fraz. Here comes Fraz, trying to drop a... Oh, it's a mountain. You know what that means. Yep, gets you Lava Runner. We are in a tiny amount of trouble here. Okay, so isolated chapel, and I am going to burglar rat. I'm going to burglar rat your stupid face and see what you get rid of here. Because giving the mono red chance giving the mono red player a chance to make this mistake is actually probably the right play here. See? Struggles. Okay, there goes the mountain, hoping to draw another one. You're like, well, I got plenty of mountains in my deck, but that famous last words. So we'll see what happens here. Probably going to swing in with Getsu Lava Runner. It's cool. We got a blocker. I'm surprised they didn't discard an instant or sorcery there or something. Try and get this Lava Runner boosted this turn. Lava Runner coming in. Actually, like, do we have to block this right now? We'll save the burglar rat. We'll just take the point. Why not? So, opponent thinking, and has not played a land yet this turn. So I'm starting to worry about him. Oh, are you going to do it, opponent? Are you going to be like, oh, I messed up, light up the stage. That's right, I shouldn't have let him through. Okay, so mountain, they will get it. But that might be their only other land. They're going to play the other Lava Runner and say go. That could have been the opening they needed. That was probably a misplay on my part, letting through that Lava Runner so early, when I suspected they didn't have lands. So, let's see here. Do we go Forsaken Sanctuary, Secret Squire, or Plains Midnight Reaper? We could also go Plains and like kill one of these things with a Mortify, but I'm not going to do that. It's a dumb plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm still not too worried about anything going on their side of the board. So we got time to play a Squire here, get a little exploring done, find new lands. Alright, I'll put that on top. And no attacks. We'll let them go. Let opponent try to get their life figured out here. Let's see if they got a land. If they did get the other land, then it's like more or less good. Like they're good for the rest of the game, I would say. They ain't got a whole lot of worrying to do. They're still kind of thinking things over here. It's cool, opponent. I took a second to figure things out last turn. You got time. Here comes a Runaway Steamkin. Runaway Steamkin on the track. Here comes another mountain. Whole opponent in business now. They're going to try and cast a spell, get the Steamkin going. See what happens. See, they get another... oh, they didn't. No attacks, even. I was going to say they get another instant sorcery in there, and they can start attacking with these Lava Runners here. Or start trying to do something with them. Anyway, play Plains on this turn. What's it gonna be here? I'd probably just say Midnight Reaper go. Or Seeker Squire. It's like I still do not care about playing this Reaper that much. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Because if they start going crazy with Steamkin, we can always just like trade. Probably not too averse to doing that. No attacks. Opponent goes and draws their card for the turn. They're thinking about it. How can I do my absolute best this turn? I am with you, opponent. All you gotta do is cast a dang old spell, then you can start attacking. Probably. I mean, start trying to get through at the very least. Alright, Goblin Instigator. Opponent getting their board up. That's cool. They definitely got a more well-developed board than we have at this point, but that's mostly just because of Instigator. We're actually not too worried about like anything our opponent's doing at this moment. And honestly, seeing Goblin Instigator just means that they're probably not playing a more powerful card. Like they don't have the risk factors or chain whirlers or something like that. So, all right, they're actually going to come in on us here, and I'm going to block one of these with the Secret Squire. And I think I might just go ahead and let the other one get through because I don't care. Right? Down to 18. There's really not that much action going on our opponent's side. It's like we can play through this all day, as far as I'm concerned. Opponent still not really getting the spell action they need. Like, what are these cards? All right, Skewer the Critics on the Midnight Reaper, but that's totally fine. We'll draw a card. Another Seeker Square. Jeez. All right. Well, play a couple Squires next turn, if nothing else, and that actually still like holds down the fort for us pretty well. I'm thinking about mortifying the Steamkin or something. Like again, we're just playing fair Magic at this point, but how I like to look at it with okay, very nice. I like to look at it with playing against mono red is that like the further you get into the game, the more their like percentage chance of winning decreases. So there's a ravenous chupacabra that we can totally just play. Let's just do that. Bust up this steamkin. Yeah, you do it. Bam. All right. We're still at a fairly comfortable 17 with a Ratatouille and a Raichu. Just chilling on our side of the board. And like these two, we especially don't care about putting into the graveyard like whatsoever. Like I'll block with these all day. So Pyromancer comes down. It's going to hit us for a couple. Still leaves us at 15. Like against mono red on turn 1,000,000, that's really good. So here comes Lava Runner coming down on us. They're going to try and swing in with everything. Everything? Everything. Ratatouille up against an Instigator. And we'll block. Take a little bit of damage here. Down to 12. We're still at a fairly comfortable life total. Like I am not worried at all at this point in the game. We're going to seek his Squire. Seek out +1/+1 counter, but we don't get it. So let's play this Swamp. And then just Orzhov Enforcer. Yeah. Do that. It's like just through basic like grindy play and trading down with our opponent, like we're going to end up in a pretty good position here. Like I know we're at 12, but our opponent has literally no cards left in their hand, and they're still making the mistake of just trying to get in with everything. So what we're going to do here is block Enforcer, or block Lava Runner with Enforcer, block Pyromancer with Seeker's Squire, and take a whole point of damage and get 2 creatures off our opponent's side of the board. And they won't be able to do that forever. Here comes a dang old Afterlife Tomb. We get a second copy of the Wanderer. That's hilarious. Here comes Seeker's Squire. I really like the counter, I think, at this point. Oh, but I'll take that. Yeah, put that on top. Put that junk on top. Just mono red just cannot beat a Basilica Bellhaunt most of the time. So next, no attacks. Go on, opponent, end the turn with your 3/1/1 Goblin tokens. See if they actually try to get in. Pass. I want my point of damage so bad. Pass. My turn. We draw that Bellhaunt that we knew about. Here comes the Fresh Prince of Bellhaunt. Our opponent doesn't have to discard, but we do gain the life. I'm actually going to attack in on opponent. See what happens here. Let's see if they block with all 3 of their Goblin tokens. That would be hilarious. Okay. So they take the damage. They draw their card. They do have 5 lands. I wonder if our opponent has like any late game action. Oh, they're just going to concede. Fair Magic wins as usual. Alright, well, here we are. Game number 3 against Sins, or it might be 1 Sins, but this is definitely, I think, a keepable hand. We have the Wanderer and Command the Dreadhorde in our hand to start the game, so hopefully we're not playing against like some sort of thought erasure strategy, but we will see. We've won both games that we played so far, but we have yet to actually get this combo off. I hope this game is the game. We got some good fuel for it, too. Burglar Rat into Plague Crafter, so ooh, it might be the one, everybody. Let's just wait and see. They lead on Boros Guildgate. I absolutely hate this matchup. So I hate Feather. I hate Aurelia. So they go with 10th District Legionnaire. I know where this is going. Pops right in on us. Here comes Orzhov Enforcer. We might actually just play that this turn. Here comes Plains into Enforcer. Opponent goes, draws, looks at their hand for a second, picks their nose, thinking about it. We're going to drop the land. We're going to attack. We're going to Defiant Strike. What are we going to do? Here it comes. Bop, bop. Thinking it over. Drop, tap to Boros Guildgate, and say go. Okay, well that's interesting. That just gets us further into the game, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so we'll just drop Plague Crafter this turn. Here comes the Plains. Getting a lot of white sources. I don't know how I feel about that. Here comes Crafter. Opponent's having a thought here. I don't know what you would be thinking about. Okay, so we'll sacrifice Enforcer, get our Afterlife token. There goes Legionnaire. Plague Crafter sitting pretty. And we're actually, this is a decent start against Boros. All things considered. This is pretty good. So let's go ahead. Let our opponent draw for the turn. Think things over. Play their land. There they go. Clifftop Retreat. Here comes Feather. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Stupid card. Card is just too good. But maybe we'll draw Chupacabra. We do not. But we do have a blocker, so that's cool. I'm gonna drop Sanctuary. Like, even if I drop Plains, I can't play Burglar Rat and Enforcer, right? So, let's go Forsaken Sank. And, ooh. I'm gonna make our opponent make a decision here with our Burglar Rat. Apparently it's a tough one. Ratatouille hits the table. Our opponent thinking it over. They have a Shock or a Defiant Strike. Maybe it's a Sheltering Light. It could also be that. They discard a second copy of Feather, which is actually pretty sweet. No attacks. Let's leave this Spirit Token up to block Feifei next turn. Opponent with a Sheltering Light. Scrying the 1. Letting us know that they have it. Check it out, bro. We got a Sheltering Light. I actually don't know if that play is worth a scry, to be honest. Like that information is really important. Alright, so 10th District Legionnaire. They're going to attack 2 this turn. Well, with 2 creatures, I should say. Whether or not they will, we'll just have to wait and see. It's like, they can just cast Sheltering Light. Like, what I'm going to do here is block with Burglar Rat on 10th District and let Feather in. Because they're just going to, if I block with Plaguecrafter, they're just going to Sheltering Light the 10th District, put a counter on it. And yeah, you'll note that I let Feather through this turn. They're going to Defiant Strike. Draw the card. This is what I hate this matchup. Like, exactly this start is why I hate this matchup. So we might drop a game here, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we're just really 1 land away from command. I might go ahead and play Wanderer this turn, kill this 10th District. Well, we can't. Yeah, it's got to have more counters on it. We do get another Black Source, though. And that's all the lands that we need. So what I'm going to do, this is precisely, by the way, why I saved this to block this turn, is so we could try to protect the Wanderer. So let's go ahead and cast the Wanderer. Our opponent's like, oh boy. So we'll get a Feather and some stuff. Let's see. Can't really do anything with her this turn, but that's fine. She'll just remain at as high as of loyalty as possible. No attacks. Because I want to lose this Plaguecrafter next turn too. And then if they put a counter on 10th District, then we can Wanderer it away before we command. That actually, we can make this work out. We can make this work out. Because then we can get Plaguecrafter off of command, and they'll have to sacrifice Feather if they don't play another creature this turn. And they might not. So, okay, they Reckless... Ooh, that's not great. They Reckless Rage. And... Defiant Strike. Okay. This is still all EOT. That sucks about Plaguecrafter. In turn. Feather. Oh, that's right. Prevent all non-combat damage. Oh my goodness. I guess we both forgot that happens. I only use the Wanderer for her -2, so I just completely forget. That's even a thing some of the time, but it totally helped us out. I should have been thinking about that for like Shock and Lightning Strike. That's actually really, really good. So, sweet. Feather swinging in. And 10th District swinging in. Okay, so this is exactly kind of what we wanted to happen. So we will block Feather with the 1/1. Plaguecrafter blocks 10th District. Hit the block button. Let's see what they do here, because they'll probably like Sheltering Light the 10th District. This is exactly what we wanted. So hopefully we'll be able to pull this off, especially in this matchup, because again, I absolutely loathe this matchup so much. So, okay. Defiant Strike. They're going to draw a card. They might be able to play another creature this turn. Which is like, that is what I do not want to happen. I really want to get rid of this Feather, if we possibly can. Alright. So everything's cool. Alright. It's like, you done doing stuff, opponent? Now, are you done doing stuff for the turn? That's what matters. Oh, yep. Okay, so things can pop off the way we want them to here. Okay, so let's Wanderer you away. You big silly goose. Our opponent's like, but Sheltering Light doesn't work, what do I do? Okay, so we do that biznaz, and then we command the Dreadhorde. We command the dang old Dreadhorde, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's go to our graveyard, too. Remember to do that. Plaguecrafter, Burglar Rat, Orzhov Enforcer. Get all of these boys back, and girls, all these ladies and gentlemen. Our opponent's a little upset, I would imagine, at this turn of events. They thanking. But Sheltering Light doesn't work. It's probably what they're doing right now. But up, opponent thinking about scooping it up. Reckless Rage doesn't work. Doesn't work. Shoulda remembered that from last turn. Alright, Sheltering Light doesn't matter, buddy. I guess they want the scry while they still have the chance at doing it. Because even if Feather dies, they still get the card back. I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, hop, bop, 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 bop. We're singing a song. They're getting hourglassed. Defiant Strike, drawing some cards while I got the white mana for that. Alright, sacrifice creature, Planeswalker. I guess it's going to be Ratatouille here. There goes Feather. Alright, and we're just going to start getting in. Ba-bam! Alright, so a bunch of feather triggers. Ba-bop, ba-bop, ba-bop. Ba-bop, 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 ba-bop. Reckless Rage. Sheltering Light, Defiant Strike. These are all cards we're typically scared of, but got a pretty decent board going at this point. See if they have another feather in their hand. Might be one of the cards that they're holding. It's an Aurelia. Ugh. I do not care for you, Aurelia. But that's cool. We still haven't drawn like a Chupacabra this game, and we could always draw another Plaguecrafter, Mortify. Like, we've got plenty of action right now against Aurelia. We just got to draw it. Aurelia triggers for no real reason. Another copy of the Wanderer. That might actually work out pretty well. All depends here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say next. See, they're at 18. We'll get in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that here. We might even get in for 7. They'll probably block 10th District. Go down to 11. We're at 15. We've got Midnight Reaper and Orzhov Enforcer online. I'd say it's worth it. Screw it. We'll see. We'll see if this is a little too aggressive. Plus, if we put creatures in our graveyard, that's fine. Because we're likely, at some point, we might just draw another command. And we've got, even if we lose this Wanderer, we got another one to back it up. That's why I do not care about her getting in on this Wanderer next turn. Alright, so they're going to block the Aurelia. Or block the Feather with Aurelia, I should say. Pardon me. Everything else is going to get in. I'm going to get in for 6. We're going to go to 12 here. It all depends. I mean, we know our opponent has combat tricks. But again, kind of don't care about putting creatures in the graveyard. Oh, wow. Huh. Okay. Wow. Huh. That's just not how I expected that to go down. Alright, so Midnight Reaper, which I maybe should have played first. Let's see. Reaper. Enforcer. Maybe our opponent does have another feather or something, and that's why they didn't play these cards now. They want the ability to get them back. Alright, so we got a big old board over here. Defiant Strike. They want to draw the card. There goes their Defiant Strike forever. Alright, so they draw. Our opponent actually has a pretty decently sized grip here. Down to 4 after they play the Boros Guildgate tapped. They still have access to all the mana they'd ever need. So here comes Electrostatic Field. Huh. And a gut. What? Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. Huh. I see. Because if you have a feather out, then you're just getting all the damage off Gutter Sniping Field. Okay. Well. Okay. So I'm gonna. Wow. Interesting spice addition to that deck. We're gonna play Crafter here. Holy balls. I did not expect that. We played this game long enough to see that happen. Okay, so we're going to Orzhov Enforcer, sacrifice Orzhov Enforcer to a Plaguecrafter. See what they sack. It's probably going to be the field. Yeah, there it goes. Midnight Reaper will draw us the card. We won't actually take any damage because Wanderer's so nice. We got a Plains. We're not going to play it yet. Then we'll hit next. And what do we got here? Reaper, Crafter, Enforcer, Feather, and 10th District. They do have untapped source for Sheltering Light here. We have just completely obsoleted Reckless Rage. It can't do nerfing. Alright, so opponent's at 12. Let's say they block. Let's say they block Feather and kill it with Aurelia due to... Well, I guess they literally can't at this point. So let's say they block Feather with Aurelia, and they block, I don't know, something with Guttersnipe Plaguecrafter, we'll just say. So or Midnight Reaper. Either way, stats are the same. So 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we'll get in. They'll go to 6. I'd say that's worth it, even if we lose some stuff here. So, opponent, thinking about it. They're down to 2 cards. We know what they are. Reckless Rage is more or less completely useless at this point. It might as well not be in their hand. Sheltering Light probably doesn't do much. They might like block Plaguecrafter with Guttersnipe, cast Sheltering Light on Guttersnipe. Like that's a play. Okay, so they block Plaguecrafter with Aurelia. They block Enforcer with Guttersnipe. Well, no, they don't. They pull back on that block because they remembered that Enforcer has Death Touch. So, that's probably what happened there. Aurelia's still on Plaguecrafter. Boom, 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 boom. Opponent down to 3 is how those blocks worked out. We draw the card off of Midnight Reaper. It's a Dusk Legion Zealot. Let's go ahead and play that. Go down to 14 because that's a loss of life and not damage. Draw another Plains. Let's go ahead and play that one. I don't care. I mean, I'm a little surprised the opponent hasn't scooped it up at this point. Like, this game is over. I mean, I might be saying that a little bit too soon. We'll have to wait and see here. I mean, this does do things, but it just doesn't do enough, you know? So, I guess he'll maybe kill the Wanderer this turn. Nope, there it is, the scoop. Alright, y'all, we have not dropped a game with this deck yet. We actually got our combo off in the last game. So this might be the final one here. We've got enough action, I think, to keep. It's going to be tough to get to and cast Basilica Bellhunt, but until we do get there, we've got stuff to draw cards, stuff to get rid of cards in their hand. Opponent leads on Mountain and get to Lava Runner. We've been here before. Here's Un Mono in Bichi is opponent's name. I think that's how you pronounce that, at least. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. We go Swamp, tell our opponent to go, attack us. It's totally fine. We don't care. Here comes Viashino Pyromancer. Mono Red getting the start that it wants. Hits for 2. We're at 18. Here comes Lava Runner. Bam! Down to 17. We're taking the damage they want us to take. We'll go ahead and play Plains here. And tell them to discard something, because you only have 3 cards left. We want some of that action, so... There goes a Mountain. They apparently have decided they don't need mountains anymore this game. There's another Mountain, so I understand why they made that decision. 3 lands is really all Mono Red needs. They're going to get in... Burglar Rat, blocking Viashino Pyromancer. Lava Runner going to get in on us. We trade creatures there. They've decided it's cool because maybe they're going to Chain Whirler or something. Light up the stage. Okay. They get a Light up the stage and a Legion War Boss. That's pretty good. They're going to skewer us. We're down to 13, so... Whew, this is the start Mono Red wants. We might drop a game here unless we can get to these Bell Haunts. That'll really help. And it looks like we can. Okay, so that's good news, I would say. We're going to drop... They don't have a haste play or anything, so... Yeah. Well, they do have a haste play in Fanatical Firebrand, but I don't care. I'd say we drop Plaguecrafter this turn. Maybe Midnight Reaper, even. Plaguecrafter. Get rid of this Lava Runner. That way we only have to worry about, like, I don't know, 3 damage next turn. Or maybe they'll just play War Boss. So here comes, yeah, Mountain, War Boss, and then Firebrand, probably, attack us. Oh, they're going to shock us. Okay, down to 11. So here comes War Boss's token, gets in with the haste, we're down to 10. Okay, so we are going to play a Plains, and then go ahead and drop this Bell Haunt, boy. Fresh Prince. Going to go back up to 13, get a big old blocking body out. That's nice. Our opponent has one card in their hand. We no longer know what their cards are. But this is the position we want to be in against mono red, I think. I mean, Legion Warboss isn't the... that's not great, but we've got plenty of removal, targeted removal we can draw to get rid of that, hopefully. Let's see what happens here. It's like, even if we draw a Plague Crafter, they're just going to have a board full of tokens in the near future. So, okay, they're going to Lightning Strike the Bell Haunt. Try to get in with everything. Ooh, okay. So, alright. Mentoring. We are going to block the Warboss with the Bell Haunt. That was a misplay. They really should have protected their Warboss there. That was a misplay. We're going to Bell Haunt again, and our opponent's going to be like, no! And then we'll play Tapped Forsaken Sanctuary and tell them to go. Ooh, I think that may have saved all of the bacon. That may have saved the whole pig there, yo. Chandra's Triumph to a Bell Haunt, and we will block the 2/2 Gobbo. Get our opponent down to just a 1/1 on board and no cards in hand. We're at 12. This is exactly where we want to be. We're going to Isolated Chapel, and let's see here. Midnight Reaper into Dusk Legion. Yeah, that does a point of damage to us. I do not care. That gives us an Enforcer to play next turn. We're at 11. We are in a fantastic position right now. So I think we're probably going to end up picking up this game. Yeah, opponent goes. We're basically playing draw go at this point. Seeker's Squire. It's going to go exploring to a Ravenous Chupacabra. We're going to win. Here's an Orzhov Enforcer for your face right there. And we will get in with both of these creatures. Why not? See if they'll trade. Yep, they do trade. So our opponent is more or less completely naked at this point. They do have a card. A single card in hand. We draw the Ravenous Chupacabra, go down to 10. Getting through our deck really fast, and that's nice. 10, I mean, half of our starting life total is still like a ridiculous place to be in against mono reds. Okay, so we go down to 7 here. Opponent still has a card in hand. It's a mountain. Okay, so our opponent is dead. Alright. Neither one of these cards really matter right now, I would say. So we're just going to get in. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll deal 6 to them next turn. Yeah, it really doesn't matter if we like play a burglar rat. Right? So let's do that. Opponent with a Chandra, Fire Artisan. That's pretty sweet. We're just going to let them draw extra cards. That's fine. Yep, they draw a mountain. They'll play it. Here's a... Oh my goodness. I got Eternal Bond too. Okay, so... What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We just say... All attack. All attack. No. Attack that guy. I hate this. So you have to attack each individual creature. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but sometimes that happens. Alright, so hit our opponent in the face. They go to 5. Now, at this point, if I play God Eternal Bond to... Yeah, I'm going to do it. Play God Eternal. And we'll just sacrifice Orzhov Enforcer. Oh, but if our opponent... Okay, actually, I will not sacrifice anything. Is what I'll do. I don't want our opponent to like draw Lightning Strike for the turn and then draw Lightning Strike with Chandra or something. Like that could definitely happen. We'll just in turn make our opponent draw the things to kill us. Yeah. So Chandra draws Gutter Snipe, plays Gutter Snipe, and yeah, we're just gonna try to go ahead go through the combat stuff here. And yeah, we actually did it that time. 4 attackers. That should be game. I mean, so our opponent has some kind of wonky thing in their hand. Bop, bop, bop. -3. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. That was 4 in a row. That's pretty nice. All right. So I'm going to try one more here because, like, as crazy as this sounds, I kind of want to lose one. Like, I want to drop a game on camera here. But, anyway. Looks like a pretty good starting 7 here, I think, against Fire Jar 710, whoever you are. I like your name. We're both Karn for this game. They start on Mountain, jeez, but they don't drop a 1-drop creature. So that, it might not be just a typical mono red deck. If it is, I'm just going to cut this game. I would imagine. Because, you know, I've played against mono red like 3 times here. Okay, so it's not. We got an Augur of Bolas after a turn 2 Sulfur Falls. So Our opponent reveals Opt. That's good action. Let's see. We could be playing against like any number of things right now. But we are going to Plains Burglar Rat. Try to get a little bit more information out of this opponent's hand here. And just put a body on board. Why not? So opponent drops a shock. Okay, so maybe some sort of blue-red burn? It's possible. They decided not to shock our Burglar Rat or attack into it, so I'm not sure how I feel about this. We'll drop a Plains. And then we'll Dusk Legion Zealot. Because it looks like they're not going to be attacking anyway. Let's see. Oh. We're going to draw our card. Take our little old point of damage there. It's a Swamp. No attacks. Go ahead, opponent. See what you're going to do here. See what kind of wonky bull mess you're playing. Opponent opts EOT. They're busy scrying. Puts it on bottom. Draws their card. Here comes card for the turn. Opponent drops a Sulphur Falls. They still got a bunch of dang cards in their hand. 5 to be exact. We've actually got a bunch more than that. Well, we've got 6. We've got one more. But our opponent passes up the turn here. Maybe it's some sort of counter Phoenix type deal. Or counter burn. Okay. So, rather... Well, do I just make them have the counter spell? I think they do, right? They have Ionize or something. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Orzhov Enforcer. See who blinks first. No attacks. Just going to let our opponent try and get some cards here. Let's see if they cast anything EOT. Like, I'm really sniffing out an Ionize, a Negate, like something is going on here. Maybe it's just the blue-red version. Yeah, they're just playing Draw Go. It's just a version of the same deck we played against a minute ago, except it's blue-red. Like Gutter Snipe, Electrostatic Field, and stuff. Alright, so I've got Basilica Bellhaunt ×2 now, so I'm going to try and go for it, see if they have the Ionize or something. Maybe it's an Essence Scatter, who knows. It's an Ionize, like I said. Had to be an Ionize. We'll take the 2 down to 17. No attacks. So now our opponent might feel a little bit more safe to do something on this turn. We'll have to see, won't we? Let's see. Search for Azcanta. Hopefully we'll get the Mortify for that stupid thing. Alright, got a Dusk Legion. Play the Plains. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to Ravenous Choo Choo, who wants Snoo Snoo, on this Augur Bolus. It's going to happen. Eyes glowing red. Get in on the opponent. All attack. See what they do here. Yeah, our opponent wastes a shock on Chupacabra. Oddly enough. And then they're down to 17. Okay, so second main, we'll play Dusk Legion Zealot. Rip a card off the top. It's a Burglar Rat, which is actually pretty good right now. How many cards are in our opponent's graveyard? Oh, well, we got 6 in there. Let's get this Mortify, y'all. We did not. Let's see. But we can Command the Dreadhorde. Does it matter? Alright, so we get Augur Bolus out of their graveyard. We get Chupacabra and Basilica Bellhaunt out of ours. Is that good enough right now? Huh. They could just counter it. I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to go Basilica Bellhaunt. Oh, I should have Burglar Ratted first. Ah, misplay by your boy. But it's alright. Bellhaunt comes down. They're going to discard the Chemister's Insight. That's why they let us have the Bellhaunt. So we're going to Burglar Rat. Opponent tapped out here. What do we have to worry about? Like Fiery Cannonade? At some point. Boom, 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 boom. Down to 13. Search is a flip. So that's not great news. They've got every Chemister's Insight in their deck. Here comes a Ral. Oh, they're just playing Ral. Okay, no, of course. I mean, I saw the Ral and I was like, could it be the Ral deck? But when you see the second Ral, you're like, yeah, this is Ral all day. Here comes Lightning Strike on Basilica Bellhaunt. Ba-bam, ba-bam. And finally, it's eventually going to hit them. All right. Or eventually going to hit the Bell Haunt. All right. So what we do at this juncture is I mean, they're tapped out. We're just going to kill their Ral this turn. Right? So, let's command the Dreadhorde. We're at 17. Keep that in mind. We're going to get Ral. Go to our graveyard. Get Bell Haunt. Submit the two of them. Take 8. Go down to 9 here. But we'll gain 3 life back. They'll discard a card. Now, let's scry one.
Hold still.
Seeker's Squire. Don't think we want that next turn. Done with the scrying. Everybody attack. Well, hold on here. Let's go. Boop to Ral. Boop to Ral. And then you guys, you two rats, you dirty rats, and the Enforcer, you get in on opponent. Attack. Bap, 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 bap. Lots of hits. Opponent at 8, no more Ral. No more drama. Okay, so we are at 12. Our opponent, Ascantes, they reveal Ionize, so we can't cast spells next turn. And they can see. That's it. We just can't. We're not going to lose with this deck, apparently. So, y'all, I'm not sure that I'm actually going to put this this game in the end video. It all depends. But we are at 5 wins in a row. We have cast a combo once. We've cast Command a total of 2 times. We've got not a great hand because there's no real early game action, but I'm still going to keep it due to Plague Grafter plus, Basilica Bell Haunt. That seems like a decent lead-in against most decks. Opponent leads on Mountain into Shock down to 18, so we know what's going on already, right? We're going to go Blaine, say go. Our opponent, in what appears to be a very dedicated burn deck at this point. Yep, Lightning Strike to the face. We're down to 15. I actually love playing against this, especially when we have double Bell Haunt sitting in our hand. We will not Plague Crafter in turn. This is going to be a fun game. Opponent drops the Mountain and says, what are you going to do, buddy? I'm waiting on a Lightning Strike to the face. Are you going to skewer us? Is that what comes next? Shock to the face. We're at 10. Okay, so we will drop Plains, Basilica Bell Haunt, and make our opponent concede. Maybe. They might scoop this one up. It'd be hilarious. So, Bell Haunt, opponent has to discard, which is actually terrible for them, and I feel really bad. I want the burn deck to win. They discard Wizard's Lightning. They're just playing every burn card in Standard. We can win this way. Alright, so opponent drops their 4th land, hits us in the face with Lightning Strike. We're down to 10. They say go. We're going to play Swamp, Basilica Bell Haunt, get rid of that last card, go up to 13, and they still somehow haven't scooped. So, we're going to hit them down to 17. Opponent draws their card for the turn. Runaway Steamkin. Oh my god! Yeah, I gotta put this game. I gotta put this game on the video. Basilica Bell Haunt, number 3. Our opponent doesn't have to discard. We go back up to 16. Attack for 6. What is our opponent doing? Like, why still play this game? We're gonna swing and our opponent lets it go. They go down to 11. Oh, goodness gracious. Pumpkin pie. Here comes a Goblin Chain Whirler. Which we're actually not in any way worried about because we've got the play for that next turn. Opponent doesn't do nothing because they can't do nothing. Here comes Mortify on the Goblin Chain Whirler. And then we'll cast the Plague Crafter, sacrificing itself. Kill the Runaway Steamkin. All get in. We didn't even have to do that, by the way. Opponent's at 2. They draw for the turn. What's it going to be? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, exactly. Well, that was fun. Alright, y'all. Well, that is it. We failed to drop a game today. We're 6-0 all the way through. Got our combo one time, cast Command the Dreadhorde a total of twice, and just played fair Magic to win the rest of the games. You know, just some of these cards, I'm telling you, are some of the most undervalued cards in Standard. Like Basilica Bellhaunt is a straight up Standard playable, you know, 4-drop. It's just, it won us a few games by itself today. Ravenous Chupacabra still does all the work it needs to. You notice that God Eternal Bantu doesn't even have to be in the deck. We cast it a whole one time, and I actually went down to 1 copy from 2 in the deck tech to go up to 4 Burglar Rat, which was another, like, sort of all-star today, you know? Body on the ground, get something out of their hand. If they discard a creature, we'll be able to get that back with command eventually. It's just like, I'm telling you, for a deck that, I mean, I think this version of the deck is a whole, like, $20. Yeah, we took out the Bantu and added a Burglar Rat, so it's like $20 to play this version. Oh, we did add Isolated Chapel. So yeah, we're at like $25 to play this deck. And it's, I mean, we just went 6-0 with it, right? So, I mean, we weren't playing against like top tier decks or anything that entire time, but I have won a few games against Esper in the past with this deck for what that's worth. So I've had a lot of fun playing this deck, and I've got a few more that I want to profile pretty soon here. Like this Mono Blue Walkers, that's coming up. That's coming up real soon because that deck is insane. But aside from that, I've just had an awful lot of fun playing around these last couple of times, man. Gameplay has been fun for me, and I hope it's been fun for y'all. If it is, go ahead, like the video, subscribe for more like this, plus deck techs, list videos, spoilers, just basically anything Magic you can think of. So subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all the things. Go over to the Patreon if you want to support content like that. Link in the description. Or just patreon.com/SBMTG. Hit the link in the description to TCG Player if you want to pick this deck up in paper, because obviously it does a lot of work, especially on like the F&M level. This deck is for real. And it, honestly, even the only top tier deck we played against was Mono Red, and we had like 3 games against that deck, and we just like spanked it every time. So if you're having trouble against that deck specifically, this is a pretty good choice. But in any case, we've also got good things against mid-range, you know, Wanderer, Chupacabra, Bellhaunt, Mortify. I mean, like, this is, I'm telling y'all, this is a good pile of cards. So give it a shot if you possibly can. And I guess that's all I got for now. Just, you know, let me know what I did wrong down there in the comment section. I'm sure I misplayed a couple of times, other than the times I specifically mentioned, hey, I just misplayed. But in any event, do all the YouTube things. And I'll catch you cats later. I'm Deb from The Place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love. Be kind.